Chapter 8, Lesson 5, we're going to add and subtract polynomials. Basically, this returns back to the fundamentals of algebra. You need to make sure that you only can add and subtract terms that are alike. So, if you have something simple like 2a plus 3b plus 4a, you need to remember that you can add the a's together and get 6a, but you can't add or subtract the b's with the a's because bananas and apples, they weigh different, so you can't combine those. So you have 6a plus 3b. That would be your simplified answer. So that's basically the principle that we're starting with and just expanding on that. We have groups. You think of the parentheses in situation A. You want to arrange them in columns so that they're on top of each other. So we have a squared plus 4a plus 3. And then we take the second term and we just align them. So we have 5a squared minus 2a and subtract 7. Oh, I see I erased my plus 4a on top. All right. So now it's just a really big addition problem, really. So I have a squared and I'm adding 5a squared, so I get a total of 6a squared. I have 4a and I'm subtracting 2a, so I'm left with positive 2a. And I look at my constants. I have positive 3 and I'm losing 7, so I have minus 4. So that's my simplified answer there. All right. Now, here comes the different scenario. I have a subtraction that's just walked into the problem. You want to think of this as like the distributive property, that this negative is being distributed here and here. So when you align these problems, this now becomes positive x and this becomes negative 2y. So now you can just say, I have 12x plus x minus 2y. And now you can do just like what you did in situation A. You have 12x plus x, you get 13x. I have 7y, I'm going to lose 2y, so I have positive 5y left over. All right, let's try the ones down at the bottom. Try these together. Number 1, notice everything's already aligned for you. I have 7a plus a, but I'm going to lose 3a. So 7 and 1 gives me 8. I lose 3. So let's see, that's going to give me 5a. So now I look at my b's column. Look at this. I have an inverse right here. I have 9b minus 9b, so those cancel out. I'm left with positive 3b. Oh, I have another inverse that cancels each other out. I have 4c minus 4c. Those cancel out. So I'm left with minus 9c. There's that answer right there. Now, generally, you just leave it in the order that they give you unless they tell you otherwise. In the last column, this is that double negative scenario. You need to think of like distributive property. So, I'm going to distribute that negative, that's right here. The opposite of subtracting is going to be adding. The opposite of subtracting is going to be adding. And the opposite of adding is going to be negative. Now I get rid of that. And now I can think of it as a simple addition problem. I have 5x squared plus 4x squared. So I get 9x squared. Now I have negative 3x plus 2x. So that means I have negative x. And I have 1 minus 8 in the end. So I'm negative 7. All right. Let's move on to the next problem. So it says find each sum or difference. So we're going to add or subtract these. So we'll take a couple of these and look at them. Let's look at number 4. And I'm just going to align these that I'm going to take the larger one, the larger term. I have 2a cubed plus 5a squared b minus 6b squared plus 4b cubed. All right. So this is taken care of. Now I need to look at the first one. I have a cubed. So I find where a cubed is, and I put it here. A cubed. And then I have minus 4b cubed. So I find where the b is. The b cubed, way at the end. So I subtract 4b cubed. All right. So now I just combine like terms. I have 2a cubed plus another a cubed. That gives me 3a cubed. I have nothing in the second term, so I just bring down plus 5a squared b. The third term, nothing to combine with it, so I subtract 6b squared. on the end. We have additive inverses. Look, they cancel each other out. You gotta love when that happens. So our answer is simply 3a cubed plus 5a squared b minus 6b squared. All right, so that was an addition problem. Let's do a subtraction problem. We'll do number 5. So we have the quantity 2r minus 8s. I'm going to go back to the original problem. I'm going to distribute that negative into. So I have negative 8r. And now I have negative 3s. Now I can simply just vertically look at my answers. I have 2r minus 8r. That gives me negative 6r. I have negative 8s. I'm going to lose 3 more s's. So that gives me negative 11s. There you go. There's your answer. Take number 10. We have 3q to the third plus, let's see, there's nothing there. So we'll have 8q. And the second the second term is being added. So I have a negative 5q squared. Now the first term had no q squared. That's why I left the box there. So here in the second term, I have negative 5q squared minus 7q. You don't have to put the box there. I just put it there as a placeholder. Now I can think of adding these terms together. I have 3q to the third power. In the second column, I have just negative 5q. And in the last, I have 8q minus 7q. That just leaves me with plus q. There's my answer there. Okay, so we'll do number 9, because that's a nice big distributive property there. We look at that negative because we're subtracting that second term. So this is going to distribute all the way through. So we have negative 4c squared minus 4c minus 1. And then I bring the second term down underneath. So I have 2c squared, and then I bring the 9 over underneath the 1 because it's a constant. At this point, I just combine like terms. I have negative 4c squared. I add 2c squared. So I still have negative 2c squared. I bring this down, negative 4c. Negative 1 minus 9 is negative 10. There's your simplified answer there. Again, just more problems of the same nature. All right, and now we start getting into the algebraic part of this and where it starts to play into geometry. If we know that we have a triangle, now remember a triangle is made up of 3 sides, so I'll just do one of these problems. We'll just do number 16. We have a triangle, and this is just a random triangle that the perimeter equals 7x plus 5y. Anytime you have a geometry shape, you should draw just something so you get an idea of what it looks like. It doesn't have to be drawn to scale. So the perimeter is 7x plus 5y. One of the sides is 2x minus 2y. The other known side is 4x minus y. You need to find the unknown. Well, it's a simple addition subtraction problem. You know the 2 sides have to add up to the perimeter. So you just work in backwards. You do the inverse. You start with the perimeter, 7x plus 5y, and you subtract. So we're going to subtract. Now this is the key. You're going to subtract that. So again, that's going to be the distributive property. You're going to subtract that. That's going to be the distributive property. So we distribute it in. I get subtract 2x, add 2y. I do the second term. I have subtract 4x plus y. That's where some people are going to fall apart. You need to make sure that you subtract the terms. All right, so we go back and we simplify now. We have 7x, we subtract 2x, that gives me 5x. I subtract 4 more, that leaves me with x. Now we look at my y's. I have 5y plus 2y plus another y gives me plus 8y. That will be the distance of your third side.